Welcome, everyone, to this exciting interview segment. Today, we have the pleasure of sitting down with David Pinard, star of the Lifetime uh, Christmas in the Spotlight and A Bluegrass Christmas. Join us as we delve into David's insights into his character and the challenges of filming these movies. Thank you for being here with us, David.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
It's a pleasure. So, can you tell us a little bit about your character in A Bluegrass Christmas?
Yeah, Bluegrass Christmas is, I play Grant Breckenridge, who comes from a well-off family. And my father, he has decided not to donate to the local horse sanctuary, which causes some problems. And I don't want to live in my dad's shadow, so I want to help where I can. And I decide to form a band, a bluegrass band, and see if we can save this horse sanctuary with some music.
Great. And what initially attracted you to your role in this movie?
I always find roles like this are really unique to myself. I play guitar, I sing. I'm really just me in the film. I don't have to really try to think of a character. I'm just, a city boy who likes to sing along, and it's right up my alley. And I really enjoyed this role because I got to ride horses, which is something I've never done before, and that was a lot of fun.
Great. And what do you think makes this movie so special and captivating?
Yeah, so I had a viewing party last night when it aired on Up TV with all my friends, and I got to get all their opinions of everybody else, and I felt the same way. Christmas movies can kind of fall into sometimes a bit cheesy and not real emotions that are driving the characters. They're very formulaic sometimes, but this has a lot of moments about love and loss and learning to let go and move on from the past. And there's some really like emotional moments in it that sometimes aren't felt in traditional Christmas movies. And I teared up a few times yesterday while I was watching with my friends. So yeah, it's a film that's both heartwarming but also is going to tug at your heartstrings.
Amazing. And what was it like working with the rest of the cast and crew on set?
Yeah, one of my faves, Sean Johnson, who plays the grandfather of my love interest. He's a Canadian icon that has been on Heartland for over like 17 seasons. So for me, that was a pleasure getting to work with him. Also, Chelsea Green, who is in it, is a WWE superstar, which is really cool. And I'm now friends with her. Never would have assumed that happened, but she's really cool. And then last but not least, but my co-star, Amanda Jordan, she's up and coming country singer in real life. And overall, just such a lovely, lovely human who has become a really dear friend of mine. So um, feelings blossom on and off the screen. They're always, sometimes it's easy to fall in love on screen when your co-star is genuinely a really great person.
Great. And what can you tease about your character journey?
What can I tease?
Yeah, for those
What can
who
I?
didn't see it at this time.
Yeah, about my character journey. Yeah, I think he kind of lives in the shadow of his father, and he doesn't want to be the way his dad is. And his journey kind of follows, putting effort in and trying to do the right thing. Sometimes it doesn't always go as planned, but you'll have to see the whole film to see how it ends. So for me, it was really good because there's moments where I'm not always just happy city boy. I had some moments where I could I tear up a little bit, which is always fun, and have some hard talks with my dad. I have a loving childhood and awesome parents in real life, so I've never had a crappy dad. So it's fun to play out that character sometimes.
Great. So, the last question about this movie. What was your favorite scene or moment while filming it?
Hmm. I think my favorite scene is it's just after we get some paint on our bodies and we're sitting down after a tough time and we have our first like argument and finally has some emotion and if you watch it back, you look in my eyes, my friends were like, wow, like you could see in your eyes, the emotion. And as an actor, that's something I always appreciate when, the subtleties. I'm not saying too much, but they could just see in my eyes how I was feeling. I think that's always a really nice compliment. So when you watch that scene, really take it in.
Yeah, great. So, change of subject, change of movie. Last week premiered another movie you're in on Lifetime this time, Christmas in the Spotlight. Can
hmm
you tell us a little bit about your character in Christmas in the Spotlight?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy week for me of Christmas
Uh,
films coming out. I'm very fortunate. Christmas in the Spotlight was an opportunity for me to work with a bunch of actors I've never gotten to work with, and they're absolutely amazing. Loosely based on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, I play the ex-boyfriend of Bowen, the douchey reality TV star guy, which is funny because in Canada I've been on a few reality TV shows, so I just had to again be myself. I usually just get casted because they know of who I am. And yeah, it's fun again because that guy he gets to kind of be disliked, and I can kind of ham that up. And there's a scene or two where um, I had a lot of laughs watching myself do that, and I hope that's what the audience takes out of it. And there's no better compliment when somebody's like, "Oh, I hated you in that," because I did my job to make them not like me. So yeah, that one's a lot of fun. And that one was really cool because I live here in Toronto, and the same night Taylor Swift was performing right next door to me, her Eras tour, and it kind of just coincided really cool. All the Swifties were around, and that came on, and it had a lot of attention. So yeah, it was a really this whole week has been really good, and I'm very thankful.
cool, great. So, and in this case, what was your favorite scene or moment while filming it in Christmas in the Spotlight?
Yeah, my favorite scene is Bowen's character is having lunch with her agent, and I slide in and I try to poke my nose in and see where she's going. And I think it's funny because in my audition, I thought it would be funny that like while he's talking to her, he sits down and he's also taking bites of her food. And I was glad that they allowed me. I was like, I want to kind of do that again. And they're like, okay, we'll put out some food that you can eat while you're doing it. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Plus, eating while you're acting on set is always a plus.
Yeah, great. So, change of a subject again. This is a question I made to all the artists I have the chance and the pleasure to talk with. What have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on throughout your career and why for you?
I mean, Bluegrass Christmas was pretty amazing. It's probably the biggest reach of Christmas films I've been on. So the most eyes are going to be on it. It's on a lot of streaming platforms. Being a lead role is always really cool. So this one was definitely one I really admire. In terms of like bigger scope where I got to work with actors who I really admire. Earlier this year, I got to work with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was really amazing on a Netflix series called Fubar.
Yeah.
And I was also on the Amazon Prime series The Boys, and I got to work with Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander. So those were two, I'm an action kind of film buff. I like those kind of things. So even though I've been in over 11 Christmas movies, I still would love to have an opportunity to kick some butt on screen and do those things. So I've been hitting the gym a lot more these days. So hopefully, moving into next year, maybe you'll see me in some action movies or something like that.
Good luck.
Exactly, exactly.
And a quick question. At Survival Shows, we are big fans of Christmas rom-coms. What is your all-time favorite?
Christmas or rom coms or both a Christmas rom com?
Yeah, Christmas rom-coms.
Christmas rom coms, my all time favorite that I've been or one that I just enjoy.
What do you prefer?
Um, hmm, 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 hmm. Christmas. You know, I was in one called All the Things I Didn't Want for Christmas, which is kind of a comedy Christmas movie that is a lot of fun. That always warms my heart. And I wouldn't say it's a rom-com, but my favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone. It slaps. That's the best Christmas movie.
Great.
Hmm.
So, the last question. Can you tease something about your next projects?
Next projects, yeah, so stuff that hasn't been released. So I mean, I had a really busy week with releases coming out, which I always think is funny because, you know, when the releases come out, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you must be so busy." But I'm like, these were shot last year. I was busy at that time. Right now, I'm just kind of chilling and watching the movies, so I don't really feel very stressed. But this year, there was a lot of cool things I worked on. I worked on one of the longest standing shows of all time, which is called Mayday. It's in its 26th season, and I'll be on two episodes of Mayday, which was a lot of fun. The show that I worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger called Fubar, I'll be in season two, which comes out next year. And then I just finished working on a film called, actually, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what it's called, but I just worked on a Hallmark film with Ariel Kebble, who's from John Tucker Must Die and 90210. And that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of dogs on set, so I always really like stuff like that. So there's some rom-coms, there's some action, there's a little bit of everything coming in the new year.
Oh, great. The Hallmark movie comes out for Valentine's Day for February.
It might, yeah. I'm not sure. That's the plan, but things always change in the industry. You never know.
We will cut up.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is it. Make sure, all of you, to coach A Bluegrass Christmas and Christmas in the Spotlight with David. And thank you, David, to join us today.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
It's a pleasure, me too. And thank you all for watching. Bye.